It's summer of 2023, and I am just getting to the point where my business is starting to have appointments in my calendar. And every single sales call I went on for probably about 2 months, epic fail the whole summer. I'm talking maybe like two sales calls a day and just destroyed every single time. I got to talk to my wife. I have to think about it. I'm not interested, right? I had a lot of those. A lot of people left the call. Fast forward to today, I am taking sales calls, but now when I take sales calls, they're actually qualified individuals. And on top of that, I'm getting them to come to a decision, to make an answer. And also on top of that, I'm actually closing more often than not. And so if you don't know who I am, my name's Steven. I make this channel to help like-minded individuals and entrepreneurs grow their companies, grow their minds, and grow themselves, and become better people. And if you like this kind of content, go ahead and click the subscribe button. I'm making videos like this every single day. And today we're going to be talking about sales, these 3 sales tactics that have increased my revenue, that have increased my ability to close sales and to get people to come to a decision. And so we're going to be talking about that in this video right now. Also, I just want to make this very clear. Not going to be talking about a lot of objections. Like, this isn't like a do that when someone says, I'm not interested, this is what you say. I will give you one closing technique that's just kind of universal, but this is more principles, because if you understand the principles, then you don't have to understand the formulas. And so if you understand the principle of sales and you understand how it works, then you should be good to close like any fucking sale ever. I just want to make this very, very clear though. This didn't come from me. Like, I didn't just wake up one day and think this is exactly how I'm going to close sales. I learned a lot of this stuff from Alex Ramosi, was kind of the main one, Charlie Morgan, and then also Dylan Wilson. So those are my 3 entrepreneurs I look to for some of this stuff, and also like Daniel G and what's Andy Elliott or whatever. Yeah, Andy Elliott, Grant Cardone. I've learned a lot of this stuff. I've read a lot of their books. I've watched a lot of their videos, and so this is kind of the sales tactics that I've pulled together into this group, and I'm now sharing with you. So the first sales tactic I want to go over is beliefs, and so that's very, very, very big when it comes to sales. Is that you need to believe in what you're selling, and if you're not able to close, there's a really good reason behind it. It's because maybe your product or service is just not good, right? That can be a situation. Or I mean, if you like, it's literally, I had someone tell me this recently. We were talking about this, me and a buddy of mine. If you sell somebody something and they don't get what they expected after you sell them, you scam them. Okay, that's very important to understand. Is that, yeah, it might feel like, oh, I tried my best. No, you scammed them. Okay, if you were supposed to go epoxy coat their like their cabinets in their house, right? And you pull up to their house and you go to put the coating on to their cabinets to refinish the cabinets, right? And you do a crappy job, you scam that person out of their money. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you tried your best. It doesn't matter if you did a decent job. Like, you fucking scam them. And so don't think that just because you tried and you failed that, well, I tried my best. No, you scammed that person. You didn't give them the thing that they needed. And so it's very important to believe in your service. And if you know what you can do, then you should believe in your stuff. If you, for example, like in my position, if you were me and you were running a marketing agency, I know how to run Facebook ads and I'm good at it. And even still, I hired someone to basically look over my shoulder and make sure that I'm doing things correctly, because I don't want to make a mistake. And so that's the same situation that you need to be in yourself, is that if you don't know what to do, you need to have someone to look over you and to make sure that things are going good, or you just need to be fucking better. Okay, I'm good. I have someone else do it because I'd rather them do it because A, I don't want to, and B, they're better at it than me. And I understand that. So I let them do those things. But I know confidently, I know very, very well that when I hop into a sales call, that not only me, but my team is going to make sure that the customer gets the results that they wanted. And that's the thing that really, really helped me, because at first I was stuck at sales because I didn't believe in what I was selling. But as soon as I was able to make that transfer into something that I really, really believe in, I was able to close more sales. And so the quote that I want you to take from this is, sales is a transference of beliefs over a bridge of trust. You must believe to transfer. And I heard that from Alex Ramosi. Sales, I'll say it again, sales is a transference of beliefs over a bridge of trust. Okay, so your customer has to be able to trust you. This is you, right? This is you on this side. This is your customer, right? Your customer has to be able to, this right here is trust. This bridge right here is trust. And all you're doing is transferring beliefs over here. Okay, now here's what happens. And this is a mistake that I've made too when it comes to objection handling. So here's the thing. This is the thing, right? Or I guess just like good, like, right? Like the thing is good. And then on the other side, we have bad, or just not, like, I don't know, right? Or I don't know, right? I don't believe you. I don't trust you, right? That's over. This is the objections. This is the customer story, right? The customer starts here. Okay. The customer doesn't know you. They've never seen your product before. They don't believe in you. They don't know who the fuck you are, right? And then here's you. And so what happens a lot of times is whenever the customer says, "I need to think about it," "I don't know," immediately you hop into the boat with them, right? I've done this so many times. You change from over here and you hop in the boat with them. Let me explain what that means, right? Again, you believed in the thing, and your way of handling objections pulls to over here. So when someone says, "I'm not interested," you're like, "Oh, well, what are you not interested in?" And now it's almost like you're trying to attack from down here, right? Like, here's where you were. Like, you had authority in the sales, but now you don't. And so now you're attacking upwards. And you almost put this customer on a pedestal in a way and saying, you know, what do you need? Why doesn't it work? What can we do to make you interested, right? And so it's almost like you don't believe in your product, and then you've essentially hopped into the same boat as them, right? You were over here, you believed in the thing, and then when they say, "I'm not interested," then you're attacking them and saying, "Well, what are you not interested in? How can we fix that? What can we do?" That's not how you should approach sales, and that's a mistake I've made plenty of times. Maybe I'm not talking to you specifically, but um, that's a mistake I've made in sales plenty of times. Is that I allowed myself to now join their side on the non-believers, because when you act and you approach the sales in a way where the customer journey is not what's important, the sale is important, then that's when you start attacking the customer and you're saying, "Well, what's wrong? How can we fix it? What can we do? Please buy my thing," right? And you've joined the boat with them. You need to keep that position of authority. You need to stay on the side of belief. And so if you actually believe in your thing, that doesn't happen, right? I don't have that problem anymore because I believe in what I'm selling. I believe in my company and what we can do. Okay, I know what I can do, and so I have no problem closing somebody on that. The second tactic is about abundance. And when I say abundance, I mean, let me look at my notes here. You are not trying to get a decision from these people. You're trying to get them to make an answer. Okay. You have power. Well, in order for you to have power, you need to be able to change people's behaviors. That's literally all that power is. It's the ability to change people's behavior. And so if you can look at a customer or a prospect who's having a problem in their business or their company or their life, whatever it is that they're having a problem with, and you can say, "Hey, John, I understand you. Let me help you fix this," and then explain to them how they can fix the thing, then you're more likely to close the sale because you're closing from a spot of abundance. You're closing from a spot of power. This is so important. Abundance is so, so important. You need to help them make decisions. The decision is yes or no. You should not be looking at it as, "I want to get a yes, I want them to close the sale." You should get them to make a decision, yes or no, because "I'm not interested," or "maybe," or some "give me a call next week." Those aren't, well, I guess "I'm not interested" is a no. But I meant to say, "I need to think about it," right? "I need to think about it" is not a no or yes. You need to get a definitive answer on the phone when you're talking to your prospects. And how you do that is coming from a place of abundance. Because if you only have one customer in your calendar, if you only have one prospect, one phone call in your calendar, you're going to do anything you can to close that sale. And you might ruin the relationship with the prospect. Because if you're not paying rent, right? If you're paying rent and you're struggling to make like your dues on time, you're struggling to pay whatever bills you have coming up, and you have a sales call, you're gonna sit there and hound this guy, and it's almost gonna come off as like, "Yo, dude," like honestly, like rapey. Seriously, that's the best word to use, right? Sales is a dance; it's not a fight, and so you shouldn't be up in this guy's face trying to tell him, you got to sign on, you got to do this. Like, chill out, bro. Give it a second. You know, hey man, this is the reason why I think you need to do this thing, and this is the reason why you think you need to do this thing, and get them to make a decision. Okay, and we're gonna talk more about that in this next rule, but also on top of that, we're going to talk more about that with my one close sales objection that I'm going to give you, because why not? I'm not going to go through the whole spiel, but I will go through the one closing technique that is just pretty nasty. And so abundance, you need to understand that it's not about closing the sale, it's about the prospect. And if you have 50 calls, you need to operate like you have 50 calls in your calendar. Even if you don't, you only have one call in your calendar, you need to act like that. Let's just imagine, let's turn it over to like relationships, right? Imagine you're speaking to a girl and you have no women, like you have no girls in your phone, you don't speak to women often, right? How creepy do you come off to this girl when you're like, "We gotta go to dinner and we gotta hop in the bed and do funny stuff," right? Like, you see what I'm saying? You have this it's almost like an ick to the girls, right? Where they're like, okay, this guy's a little too pushy, he's a little bit too much. Like maybe that's not the way to go. And that happens because you're not operating from abundance. You need this girl, right? And the same thing goes in sales. Imagine you're acting, come on, sign the contract, do this, set it up, right? That's a problem. And so you don't want to act like that. They don't want to sign, go, it's cool. Yeah, have a good time. Like, don't come, like, literally don't come crying back when things get fucked up. But obviously, be nice. Don't say that to somebody. But I mean, you need to be realistic. So when someone says, yeah, I don't want to do it right now, I don't, honestly, it's usually a belief thing. But if they don't want to do it, like you got to understand that that's their problem. If you believe in your thing, then truly, truly, it is their problem. They're the ones that made the mistake, and you can walk away happy knowing that at least you tried to help this person and they didn't want it, right? If you truly believe in your thing. The third tip, and this is to be human, and on top of that, be logical. This is the way I've been able to close so many sales. This is right here. Be human and be logical, right? They want to buy your thing. They showed up to the call. They believe that it can help you. You're just being a dickhead, okay? And you shouldn't. And so whenever somebody is about to close and you ask them for a price, say your thing is $5,000, okay? So I'm charging $5,000 a month for my service. Let's just say that, right? And then someone comes in and I tell them it's $5,000. They say, well, I got to think about it. Okay, awesome. So how much money would you have to make in return for $5,000 to be worth it, right? And they would say, oh, well, probably like 15, 20 grand, right? How many jobs would it take you to make 15, 20 grand? Because I book people's calendars. That's what I do for fun. So, well, I guess for work. But how many calls would it take for you to, how many jobs would it take you to make 20 grand? Probably like 4. Okay, awesome. So how many how many estimates do you have to have in your calendar every month for you to close 4 deals? Probably like 12. And so if you believe that I could get 12 appointments in your calendar every month, then would this be worth it for you? Would this be lucrative? Yes. Okay, so then where do we go from here? Which, by the way, I want to bring that's a little side tangent too. Where do we go from here? Awesome. Don't ever say like, okay, you want to sign? Just say where do we go from here, right? I think that really like moves the conversation and it's a lot more casual. Where do you want to go from here, right? Instead of buy my thing, it's just where do you want to go from here, man? So my point, no. So my point with this whole thing is just be logical and talk to them like a human. I don't even like when I hop on sales calls. I don't do all this like extra preppy stuff. I actually made a pitch deck and I've been pulling it out sometimes. But I mean, if I don't need to, I'll just sit there and have a human conversation with you, heart to heart conversation. And 9 times out of 10, if you're a salesman, you can actually pick out the problem by just talking to them. How long you been in business for? 6 months. How you getting leads? Well, they're coming and going. I get word of mouth, probably 2 or 3 jobs a month. Okay. So why do you only have 2 or 3 jobs? Oh, well, I just haven't been doing any outreach. Why haven't you been doing outreach? Because I'm afraid of failure. Okay, now you found the problem. Just like that. That's all you needed to do, was just have a human conversation. So if you're just human with them and you speak to them, just find the problem and then help them solve it. That's your job as a salesman. That's your job as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. Your job is to solve people's problems, right? That's what we do as entrepreneurs. And so if you can have a conversation with someone, you can find out, okay, this guy's actually afraid of failure. What if I was able to tell him, you know what, man, you actually won't fail. You will not fail if you do this stuff. This will help you, and this is why. If you're able to do that, then you can really make something beautiful out of this relationship that you've established with the person you're with, your client, with your prospect, right? So just be human. Speak to them. My bonus tip. I just figured I'd bring this up. Have a CRM and have an organized and neat CRM ready to fire, ready to follow up with your prospects automatically over a certain amount of time. Have that set up. Have those systems in place. You don't know how many times I've had a conversation with a customer or with a prospect, and then I didn't speak to them for 3 months, and then they sent me an email 3 months later. Oh, I remember you. I remember our conversation, and I've seen your emails and I've watched your YouTube videos. Let's have a conversation, right? They followed up with me because I was able to call them back and text them back automatically without me even knowing, right? And I had tasks set up to call these people, and I had nurture sequences. I had all this stuff set up. CRM stands for Customer Relationship Manager, if you don't know what that means. And I will tell you this right now, having a CRM in your business is so fucking important. Like you cannot operate a quality business without a CRM. You just can't. I'm sorry. Like in order, you have to follow up with prospects. You have to nurture leads. You have to speak. It's not going to be, obviously, especially if your sale is very high, right? So high ticket services, what I believe, if you're talking about sales and value, the higher the expense, the charge for the service, the more time it's going to take for a customer to buy. That's just the truth. Because if I was asking you to spend $2 on this thing, I'll send you $2. But if I'm asking you for $5,000, it's different. $5,000, you got to think about it, maybe, right? And so if you're a roofer and you're selling, roofs or whatever, like whatever, right? You're selling a service that's 10, 20 grand, especially as a contractor, right? It's going to take, obviously, your prospect. It's not just a little thing. It's not, oh, I just saw it in the line at Costco and I'm going to put it in my shopping cart. It's, I'm getting a new fucking roof. And so if you can follow up with that person, yeah, sure, you might have went up to their door 6 months ago, but are you really going to call that person back and say, hey, John, we spoke 6 months ago and I miss you? Or you're going to send them a text message that says, hey, John, how's everything going? I sent you a PDF of how this, or I sent you a YouTube video in your email. Go check it out, right? Like which one automatically, which one would you rather do? Call them or have automatic text go out that says, hey, I sent you something to your email. How's business going? How's your roof going? Right? Which one would you rather do? So CRM is very important. My last thing, my big objection is this is exactly why you should do it. If someone gives you an objection, honestly, that's the reason why they should do the thing. Seriously, I need to think about it. That's exactly why you should do it. How long do you want? I need to think about it to be on your list of things. How long do you not want to make decisions? How long do you want to continue to give power to decisions? Right? It's stupid. Like decisions aren't real. You can't hold a decision. How long do you want that to be on your list of things? How many other decisions? How many other unmade decisions have you had? And with that being said, I literally made a video like 2 days ago about how I was able to 6x my income, and that came from me closing off unmade decisions. I had taken unmade decisions and then figured out the answer and done the right things. And once I was able to do that and fix my brain, I was able to make proper decisions. But it took me fixing my head. It took me really digging into my life. It took me solving a bunch of problems that I had. And so if someone comes to you and says they're not interested, you be like, yeah, that's exactly why you should do it. How many decisions do you need to make? You have a lot of decisions to make. If obviously you need to think about it, you have a lot on your plate. So let's fix some of that stuff. Maybe our service can help you fix that, right? I have to think about it. What else do you have to think about? Well, I have to think about hiring new employees and I have to think about getting new jobs. That's great. That's two things I do. I can help you get employees and I can help you get more jobs. So that's exactly why you need to buy it is perfect. That's like the best way to do it. If you can't figure out what to say, if you forget, that's exactly why you should do it. If someone says, hey man, I need time to think about it, that's exactly why you should do it. You need time. Bam, you're back in. I gotta talk to my wife. That's exactly why you should do it. How often do you want to talk to your wife about things? Like, do you just want to be the decision maker and you want to be empowered and you want to be the one that holds the pants in a relationship? Be an adult and do the thing. Make the decision. You don't need to talk to your wife. And if you do have to talk to your wife, what are you going to do if she says no? You're going to do it anyway. Okay, so you don't have to talk to your wife, right? Just be logical with these people. I always like to use numbers and stuff too. Like I said, with number 3. If this service is $5,000, but it makes you $50,000, is it worth it? Okay, where do you want to go from here? I just don't think right now is a good time. Well, that's exactly why you should do it. Because if right now is not a good time, never's going to be a good time. That's exactly why you should do it. I don't know. I think that's the easy way of doing it. I think just like if just be logical. I think that's the main thing I'm trying to get here. Is just you need to operate. You need to believe in the thing. You need to operate out of abundance. You need to be logical, people. And you have a CRM to follow up. Those are the 4 things you need to do. So I think that'll wrap it up for the video. If you enjoyed this content, go ahead and click the like and subscribe button. And also, if you're a contractor and you want to close more sales, I can show you exactly how to do that by clicking the link below. Just click it, book an appointment, and we can speak together. I can show you what to do. So if that helped you out, like I said, leave a like and don't scroll on social media because it's not going to help you close sales. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.